On Easter Sunday, a skydiver fell screaming from 4,000 feet while her children watched. Both her parachutes failed at once. That's impossible by accident. Stick around, because what the DNA on her gas valve revealed will turn this story inside out. And if you want more true crime deep dives, hit subscribe, like this video, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Easter Sunday, April 5th, 2015. Above Netheravon Airfield, witnesses watched a woman fall from the sky. She was spinning, screaming, dropping toward a freshly plowed field. She hit the soft soil from 4,000 feet. Everyone thought she was dead, but she was breathing. Victoria Cilliers had a fractured spine, broken leg, collarbone, and ribs. It was called a miracle. Then investigators found both her parachutes had failed on the same jump. The main with twisted lines, the reserve missing its deployment parts. That had never happened by accident. The equipment had been tampered with. Victoria worked as a physiotherapist for the Ministry of Defense at Larkhill. She had completed more than 2,500 skydives and was an advanced freefall instructor. A single mother after a previous marriage ended due to infidelity. In 2009, a man came to her clinic with a knee injury. Army Sergeant Emile Cilliers, South African, confident. They talked about skydiving. Nothing seemed wrong, no warnings. That ordinary meeting would later become impossible to forget, because sometimes the absence of warning signs is the most unsettling detail of all. They married in South Africa in September 2011. Emile had 4 children from prior relationships. Together, they had 2 more. Money was a constant pressure. He took her car, used her credit card. In February 2015, Victoria gave birth to a son, Ben. Days later, Emile said he needed to stay at his barracks. The next morning, Victoria smelled gas in the kitchen. Dried blood was on the gas valve. She texted him. He replied it was weird. The leak was fixed. No one treated it as anything more than a strange fault. Less than 2 weeks after the gas leak, Emile arranged a skydive for Victoria. Easter weekend framed as a gift. To her, it felt like warmth, maybe an apology. On the morning of the jump, Emile did not go up. He brought their children to watch. Before the jump, he took her parachute equipment into a toilet cubicle. He was a trained packer. He knew what to sabotage. Victoria stepped out of the aircraft at 4,000 feet, trusting her gear completely. That trust was about to become a weapon. She deployed her main canopy. The lines were twisted in a way that should never occur naturally. She reached for her reserve. The reserve was missing the slinks, the parts that make it deploy. She began falling. Witnesses saw her spiral, screaming. She hit the plowed field. The soft soil saved her. Her spine, leg, collarbone, ribs were broken, but she lived. Investigators recovered the parachutes. An expert said it was virtually impossible for both to fail by accident. The only explanation was tampering. Then police learned about the gas leak 11 days earlier. Detectives went back to the kitchen. They tested the dried blood on the gas valve. The DNA was a full match to Emile Cilliers. 2 events, a gas leak with a newborn in the house and a sabotaged parachute, were now connected. 11 days between them. Not a moment of rage. A plan that survived failure and adjusted. Emile was 22,000 pounds in debt. He stood to gain 120,000 from life insurance. He was having an affair with a woman named Stephanie, plus a relationship with his ex-wife. October 2017. The first trial ended with a hung jury. The problem was Victoria herself. On the witness stand, she defended her husband. She had told police Emile took the parachute into a toilet for 5 to 10 minutes. In court, she said she had expanded on the truth. She wanted revenge, she said. She wanted him to suffer. She even suggested she might have damaged her own parachute. Investigators had already proved sabotage could be done in under 5 minutes. But the jury did not know what to do with a victim who protected her attacker. May 2018, Winchester Crown Court. Prosecutors presented the relationship as context, coercive, manipulative, dangerous. They told the jury that Victoria's defense of Emile was not a contradiction of the evidence. It was part of the evidence. The jury convicted unanimously on 2 counts of attempted murder, on the gas charge, 10-2. Emile showed no emotion. He was sentenced to life imprisonment with a minimum of 18 years. The judge called him a person of quite exceptional callousness, who would stop at nothing to satisfy his own desires. After the trials, Victoria said, "I don't think I lied a lot. I think I kept a lot of secrets." She had visited Emile in prison. She continued to defend him even after he tried to kill her. The judge noted she had suffered psychological harm that had not healed. Coercive control does not look like chains. It looks like someone convincing you your memory is wrong, your anger is the problem. Victoria had spent years inside that dynamic. It did not disappear when she hit the ground. Her courtroom behavior was not weakness. It was damage. In October 2018, Victoria did her first skydive since the accident. She still lives in Wiltshire, still works as a physiotherapist. She raised her children in the same home. In 2020, she published a memoir, I Survived. A Netflix documentary and a Channel 4 series followed. She took the story out of Emile's hands. He spent years building a version of events for a jury. Hers is the one still being read. She had trusted parachutes packed by others for her entire adult life. That trust was used as a weapon. 3 years later, she jumped again.